Hello! Welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. Margie, I'm a Hilkenpath, and I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. You can see how I feel about things. You can see I've been eating my feelings. Actually, this is the other side of it. Had some stress. Ate an extra cookie or two this last week. You know, this week though, it's one of those high escapism weeks because people are feeling their emotions so much. They're so prominent. They're doing whatever they can to just get away from their emotions. They don't want to feel these things. Huh? Avoidance is what us got into the world we got now. People avoiding, denying, ignoring. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. Ostrich in the sand. See, truth has a vibration. Kind of like freedom rings. It has a vibration too. Everything has a vibration. And that bell is ringing. Free yourselves up from the wreckage of your past. Now's the time. God's in the room, God's in the house, I'm God's DJ remix. I'm a DJ of God. I'm just here to report, because I go around gathering data. I don't get paid. I'm an esoteric Sherlock. So I'm trying to stay in today, because if I get too far ahead in anything past today, or I start getting stuck in any past replay, it just keeps me in a vibe that God ain't in. God's only in the present. That's where the gift is in the present moment. How hard is it for people to be in the present moment right now? That's all it takes for me is to get in the present moment. But then if I get in my head, or if I get too caught up with external stuff, there goes the present moment. I'm in somebody else's vibe, being freaking puppeted by somebody else's freaking agenda, I try not to spend too much time with people that I'm not in alignment with. I don't have a lot of friends anymore. People want you to be like them, and a lot of people are miserable, and I don't want to be miserable. I did it for years and years and years, and I fought my way to... I fought myself. I've been fighting myself for the last 4 years to get myself back to God. Well, that's quite frankly a relationship that I'm not willing to jeopardize. So, there's so many naysayers out in the world there because people want you to be like them. And, ego devotes freaking earthly stuff, The bigger your ego, the bigger permission you got to freaking drive those freaking 6-figure cars that sit in a garage most of the time. Or, just all this bells and whistles. But things are about to get real hard for a lot of people. Real hard. A lot of these people that have, we see it all over the media every day. These stars that aren't getting their paychecks and stuff like that. And they don't live within their means because egos don't know how to discipline themselves. No egos. The Lucy Fairy Tale Theater, it's all about freaking blowing it and pissing it all away because there's always more to get and God and take it and this and that and all that seedy, nasty stuff. And the thing of it is there's no spirit in that. So, I my whole life I've watched people come from a heart space where they're grateful, and then something happens in them, and then there's a switch, like they're like, tink, I got this. And then they start serving a higher power. It's a slippery slope. It's easy for people to get involved in dark things. It's easy. It's easy because all you got to do is want to, and you will attract it, and it's everywhere, so it will find you. Those low vibrational frequencies, chasing sensations, and all that sexual, tantric, nasty stuff that's been going around for years and years and years. I had a hard time. I was one of those when I was a little kid. I had a hard time because I knew what I was. I knew I didn't want to. There was no man on this earth that was gonna freaking turn a switch in me to make me want to be your devotee and stay at home and clean while you got to go to work and do all it was never in me. Never, never, never. So I knew, I always knew that I liked girls. I didn't know there was words to it. I just knew that the when I wanted to get married and when I played the game of life, when I wanted a pink peg in the passenger seat next to me. Sometimes she could drive as she wanted, and I'll take pictures out the window because we're equals and stuff, And if so. But then, I also loved God, and God hated gays. All the people that said about God, they hate gays, bad, you're bad. And I had an uncle, and he was bad, so I must have got my bad from my uncle. Well, he was adopted. It's all this nasty poison that freaking people freaking fed us for years and years to create cognitive dissonance so they can create low self-esteem so people feel just bad about themselves and then go to things like drugs and alcohol just to make themselves feel better because people like to make you feel like them and they want you to be like them, and most people are miserable. But I always had a way of finding the light in the silver lining in the shitty situations, because I've lived through shitty situation after shitty situation. You get to the point you gotta look at the positive in the God in the situation where God is giving us grace and allowing us to learn the lessons that our spirits are intended to learn in this incarnate. Yeah, because we're checking out a life library. I don't understand. I can't put my head around people. That is not a frequency. That's like I don't know. Maybe they haven't incarnated enough that they don't believe in reincarnation. Maybe they're early in their soul path. Who knows? Who knows? It's just But there's things that I can't put my head around it. But I also believe that they have been given the path, so every place they've ever been in their life has always supported the fact that reincarnation doesn't exist, and that is freaking pretty intriguing to me. That's pretty Fringe-tastic, if you ask me. Again, it's in the same heart space goes with people that believe in flat Earth. Everything that they've ever been given, just like I could read a book. I'll use, for example, The Alchemist I have over there. I have there's the last 8 pages I haven't read. I need to, it's been 3 years, 2 years. Maybe I'll do that today. Finish the last 8 pages of the Pablo, And I just don't like to read because my mind wanders too much. And then I'm like, what did I get on the page? I don't know. Evidently it wasn't as exciting as what it was going on in my mind. So I'm not a reader. That's why I like videos and stuff like that. I prefer conversation. And the freaking punctuation and grammar and all that shit is just stupid. Because I'll write a paragraph and use commas and hyphens and stuff like that. I'll just go on and cheap change, and I won't. I used to get in trouble for run-on sentences because I'd put so much. Just whatever. Just let me know when I do it right, okay? Because everybody is so fucking sure and fast and quick to let me know when I'm wrong all the gosh darn time. Every fucking day of my life. So they tell me, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm wrong for you. I'm wrong for your life path. I'm wrong for your choices that you make. I'm just right for me. I'm my own just right porridge. People ruin people with the idea of a perfection, being perfect. Some of us ain't even 70%. We're 68%, and as far as their criteria of the test taker and the score. It's just a nightmare. It's if people sat down and talked to me and asked me questions, if we could take tests that way, that would be great. But no, you gotta write everything out and type it all out and fucking put the comma here and the period here and the bullshit there, and your tech don't even work no way. That's the thing, is like, if people could guarantee that their technology would work, that's why I'm like, I check out when people are like, oh, just go online and do this. I'm like, let's do stuff in real life, man. Let's do stuff in real life again. What did I call the talk today? I called the talk today, riots between self and self-will run rampant. See, I was piggybacking, I touched on that earlier this morning with all the escapism, because I wanted to drink so bad this week. There wasn't a time where I got to the point where I would like entertain the thought. I wanted to. That's the thing, is people, alcoholics like me that like to drink a lot, when the energies are certain ways, we like to drink a lot more often, frequently. And then so it's like I had to turn it up extra this week with like my dancing outside and stuff like that, and getting busy, you know. And it's been, you know, seemingly kind of one thing after another, but it's like you take the wave. See, when I learned how to swim, I almost drowned when I had my well, I was probably my third. By the time I was 6'5", I had my third near-death experience. and so they put me in swim lessons when we went down to see Grandma. So every summer, for weeks during the summer, we're just swimming every day from like 6 until I was 12, somewhere around there, 13, somewhere at 12, somewhere around there. Because then I was like, I don't know, I was starting to get fat, and then I didn't want to put on a bathing suit anymore, because that's when I really started eating my feelings. So, swim class. What was I talking about? Swim class. Oh, but my dad would take us to the ocean. He liked to go swim in the ocean. He was a man. He's a man's man. He's macho. He's the guy that they'll go out and freaking body surf when the waves are 25, 27 feet high, and they're like, don't do it. And he'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna. Because he's a strong swimmer. So, he's always done freaking, like, defiant but his shit was, like, a lot more harmful. He and his buddies would go out and freaking, like, take 55-gallon barrels, and put them on their sides on the and then in Atascadero they had these along the freeway. They had these like where they cut out of the mountain and it goes up like this, and they would go up there and then they'd roll the barrels off and then see if they'd freaking, you know, cause havoc and hit a car, maybe cause an accident. I mean, it's just like it's a perfect example of what, and see, that's where I come from. That's the heart space. That's what people don't understand, is like, this is the DNA that's in me, is to, you know, everybody has destruction and everything in them. It's just, what do you do with it? I learned to channel my energy more wisely because Mom freaking instilled in my head that if you don't get control of your emotions, that the system will control you, and you don't want that. You see, and my dad always lived in a place where Grandma sold everybody their house, so he just pretty much got to fucking go around and do what he wants without any kind of consequence, see? And when you have a bunch of egomaniacal people that grow up in systems, you know, and they just go around and do what they want, they kind of can't have the ability to turn into that cat that likes to play with the scared mouse. And what we have in society is a whole lot of people that interjected themselves up in very high positions of authority that like to play with that are like cats that like to play with mice, because they smell fear. They smell fear. The wicked smell fear, and they like to eat it, and they like to consume it, and they like to dominate it, and they like to thrust upon it, and they like to freaking... It's pretty twisted. All the things. All the things people do in their darkness, and then they're like, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. And it's freaking straight. And then so it's like you have the wicked on the wicked, you know, because you have the wicked, and then you have the disingenuousness on top of that. That's extra. The manipulation of, I fucking fool those people every, you know, those, you know. It's pretty wild. So what else? So when the wave comes, because the wave's here. It's just only going to get worse. The Jewish fellowship, whatever the fellowship, you know, it's not, maybe not necessarily my story, but it's they're fighting for the same things: freedom, freedom, freedom. Let freedom ring like truth. They freaking released old freaking Hillary's freaking emails, man. Dude, that's the thing. I've been in IT forever. You can't delete emails. Deleted emails don't get deleted. Freaking idiot. You can just delete. She probably left them in her freaking recycle. She's so stupid. You know what I love? I love this is because I can identify with Donald Trump because we have three major aspects. One of them being Scorpio moon, and it's about to be Scorpio, man. It's about to be Scorpio. Right now, it's like Libra season. Okay, people, calibrate your asses. You know, if you've been a freaking shyster, and if you've been a bastard, and if you've been a liar and a freaking cheat, now's the time to pay up. Pay the piper. Now's the time to pay the piper. Because come Scorpio, people are just going to be... The scorpion freaking stinger is going to be everywhere. Justice, righteousness. To the wicked. To the nefarious. Y'all going down. Y'all going down for all of the crimes for years. Jesse mentions, you know, I think about it. Oh, so the wave's coming. The wave's coming. It's here, right? So what I learned to do when they taught me how to swim in the ocean, you know, how to go with the current, how to read the waves, how to, you know, and you don't even know. She could pull something out of her hat at the last second because that you ain't never seen before. So you always got to be careful. But you got to go through these experiences, like, you know, getting caught in a riptide, you know, or getting caught in a like where the wave just keeps coming. It's like in a cycle and you're just being hit on the bottom of, and you can't get out of it, like in a washing machine, you know. There's all this different stuff that you got to experience, and maybe somebody's there to help you pull you out of it, but oftentimes, more often than not, you know. So when a big wave comes and you don't want it crashing down on you, you don't ever got to panic. Just dive in under the wave. Just dive under it. Dive through it. You'll get to the other side and it'll crash behind you and you'll be alright. You know, see, because I've resisted myself. No, this is how it is. No, that's how it is. Because when I moved here, I was certain of how my life would go because I controlled my life for years. I made it happen because I had no choice because I knew I was going to be taking care of Mom. And then like when I got here and God said, you ain't going back to work. You're done with W-2s. You were done with 3D society. Find a different way, Margie. Find a way through me. I'm going to give you the strength, and you got to take it, because I started drinking again for about a few months. And thank God nothing serious ever happened, but it's like every time I did, there was a consequence leading up to a bigger consequence the next time I did it. And the last consequence, I was just like, this life ain't for me. I recognize that, God. And every time I drink, it removes my spirit. It takes my spirit. My ego comes in. And when my ego comes in, it's always to my detriment. And when it's always to my detriment, it's to everybody's detriment around me. So God, I will live to serve you and be in service. And I was wrong for stepping away. And I won't do those things, God, anymore to divide me from you. I won't put those toxins and those alcohol in me. I won't have those relationships with people where they disrespect me, God, because I am a representation and just an aspect. I am just a little mirror on the crystal ball of life, God, and I reflect you. And when I am not doing that in kindness and love, God, then I am living the Lucy fairy tale theater because I am running from ego. So there's a lot of rage going on. But when I get real mad about stuff, You know, I was waking up this morning and I was coming into my soul sack. My spirit does my night shift. I was flying around the coast, man. It was freaking amazing. My night, because I lucid dream. It's my spirit in higher dimensions. I don't see it no other way. And I was over on the coast, and it was wild. It was like, it was kind of, they turned it into kind of a Dubai, and there was like YouTube freaking stuff everywhere. It's really weird. Like the world gets super commercially and weird and stuff, but not when you live in the sticks like I want to do. I want to live in the sticks. Maybe I'll dive into the bubble of freaking madness. You know what cities are gonna become, because it's all gonna be about the compliance. The compliance. And I ain't never been a complier because I'm a spirit having a human experience. And so when I was coming in and I was thanking God for just another breath of waking up, because you know you die in your sleep. You know, sometimes, a lot of times people don't know that they die. It's just they're in a dream forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, you know, until they reincarnate again. And then they're just like, wait a minute. And then they wake up and then they remember like that incarnate, and they're like, oh shit, I lived that life. I thought that was a dream. And it's like, yeah, it was a dream that you never woke up from, and then you went on. It's weird how the possibility of how things are, but we'll never know for sure 100%. And then I was just blessed because, man, I've woken up in anger, just vibrating mad. And a lot of that anger is just because I wasn't living the life that that God wanted me to live. I was resisting. All that anger for years was me resisting living the life that God wanted me to live, and that's just being service. And He's always provided. Like, it's like, I've taken leaps of faith my whole life, and they're always scary, and I always do them, and they're always worth it. But it ain't easy to blindly step off a cliff knowing that there's a foothold there. And then you take another step, and there's a foothold there. And you keep doing that. And before you know it, you're running. You're running. Just on blind faith alone. It's so beautiful. It's so freaking painful to receive when you've always felt like a fucking piece of shit your whole entire life because everybody said that you were a piece of shit. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe not in those terms, but I think people can understand what I'm talking about, you know. And see, for me, someone could just be like, don't do that, Marge. Don't be like that, Marge. Be less of who you are, Marge. Don't be too Marge. Don't do this. Don't stand. No, come over here. I just want to be. We're close. Close. So, it's raining today. It's raining. It's very cleansing in Salem, Oregon today. Coming back to my grounding space. See, that's the thing, is I don't let the emotion. I used to let emotions come on me and then grasp onto me, and I would hang on to them, and then I would be like, I can't do anything today, kind of thing. And that's not how things are anymore, because when you have the strength of God, through God, then it's just like, okay, feel, process. People gotta let go of their anger, man. You gotta. People are killing themselves. They're making themselves sick. They're free, you know. And once the spirit is like, you know, you get more than 51% vibration to fear than faith, it's hard, you know. That's when the health stuff starts coming in. That's why it's so important. I try and meditate about an hour a day. I actually, the last couple days, that's probably why I'm feeling these emotions so heavy, is because things have been where I've been like at the laundromat when I'm around, usually meditate state time. And so I don't actually, now that I think about it, it might be a couple days since I did it earlier, the one day. So it may be a day that I didn't, but it's definitely, you feel ungrounded, you know. or I feel undergrounded. I try not to speak, and I try to speak in general terms. So, but people still, I don't know. It's like I'm calling their. I don't know. I don't know. It's a trip. Anybody in the talkie room? Good day. Hi, Violet Moon. How are you? Hi, Carl. That's a good song. Yep, Devil's Playground is everywhere. Hello, G-Dog. You're the cat guy. You crack me up, Jason. I got some... Jason, you might like these pictures I got of my cat this morning. Stanley, I have a ladder in the living room. It's like it's just an old wooden ladder. I wanted to make a planter out of it at some point, and I threw a towel over the top. An old I stapled with the I made a cat tree out of an old ladder is what I did. And this is Stanley coming down the old ladder. And the cat likes when it's rainy outside, especially because he can't go outside today. He's mad, so that's him coming down the cat ladder, doing the little shimmy twist coming down the cat ladder. See, and I put that up so when he runs up to the top of it, it's easier for him to grab. See, I got all these, not that I would, that's just my own personal, but I got all these ideas. I should go back and buy that calendar actually. I got all these ideas to make pet furniture that just kind of is a part of your house, becomes the design of your house, and you can do we can do books, we can do whatever you want, planners, but see, there's all this, I want to use manzanita for cat trees, and like a cedar or a kind that is like a softer wood, because wood has has all kinds of different densities, and then manzanita, which is a beautiful wood that ages just amazingly, and that if you like, it would age well, the cat could use it to scratch, it could sharpen its claws on it, and then a softer wood for the where you put the beds and stuff. I want to make cat trees and dog beds. I already have the logo design and everything. It's gonna be, the dog beds are gonna be called Dog on It. Dog on it. And I saw it when I've been going to FedEx lately, using their printing services up there, and they're pretty cool. They've been real nice up there. Seth is a cool guy. He's been helpful, and so I go up there. Stupid Jeezy, freaking dummy. So I went up there to do. Oh, and there was a calendar up there, and it was a dog calendar, and it said Dog on it. You know what I'd like to do? If anybody likes to give calendars, I just thought about this because it's about to be calendar season. There's a dog that I used to support. Obi Dog Journey. I think it would be cool if people supported that calendar and like gave it to somebody else just for Obi. I got to meet Obi. I got to hang out with Obi. He's a good dog. It's just one of those living amends that you gotta leave be, you gotta leave them be. So, but I figured that I'd be able to support, if I could get people to, if it's a great story. If you go back and look at the whole story, it's a great story. He lost 50 pounds, dude. He was that doxy that lost 50 pounds. And, then there was a custody suit because they live in Oregon, and the freaking attorney general. I did a video about it. What the Rosenberg. Go check out the story. Because they pick on people. They target people, and they pick on people, and they take their money. And then they don't spend the money that they take from people wisely. And, well, it's no bueno. And it's bad karma. Here's a picture of Obi under his favorite tree. And this is actually, I got to go for a walk with him. And this is in the calendar. I'm like, oh my God! I was like a weird kid all day long. Got to hang out with him. He's such a good dog. He's kind of a needy little bitch, actually. But that don't make it, that don't, and this is his brother Truman. He's a bet. Truman is like the, and I freaking hate when people like get pissed off about breeds and stuff, because he's a pit bull breed, or he's a terrier. He's top 3 one of the best dogs I've ever met. He's a good dog because he knows how to turn the other cheek, but he'll freaking defend himself. He'll stick up. He ain't a bitch, you know, and that's how it should be. Oh, this is when I went to go see Suguru. I almost got up his nose. Suguru. Oh, it's alive. Look. It's alive. Suguru live. Hi, Suguru. Hi, Marge. I'm just signing my books. That's cool, dude. And then Noggin. Noggin is freaking a rat. That's me. Hi, Noggin. I missed you, buddy. I'll probably never see you again, but I had a good time with you when we hung out that one time. Or those 2 times. Oh, there's Truman and Nog. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Good dogs. Look at that. Me and good for a ride. Me and Truman. He's sticking his tongue out. I'm sticking my tongue out. Oh, look at that. Nog wanted in on the action. What's up? Nog likes everybody. It don't matter. Anyway. That'd be cool if people like to send out calendars. And I think it's like $15. I think they're like usually 15, maybe, and then I thought I had more pictures. Like a brown dog face. Oh, here's both of them. Here's Obi and Truman both trying to make out with me. And Obi in my ear. Well, that's Truman too. I went and hung out with them sometimes. But see, that's the thing, is I say things. I say my piece. I say what I think. I say what I feel. Because I don't want to hang on to whatever I think or whatever I feel. And so, I don't, and other people have so many boundaries and so many deal breakers and criterias and stuff like that. I have a lot less. There ain't nothing that I haven't, that I don't get over. That I haven't forgiven, because I would want people to meet me with that same forgiveness. And so, this was the first Benny. This is the picture I got when Benny came in. Look how emaciated he is. He was abandoned at a farmhouse for 2 weeks. And they were like, "We got you, buddy." And can you see the gratitude in his face? I mean, it's like, and look at him now. Today, Mom goes, "Marge, do we have to move today?" I said, "No, Mom, it's not today. Today we're going to relax and be easy and not think about it." I said, "When Jerry comes, then we'll move." She's like, "Just as long as we can keep us all together." I'm like, "Mom, I don't think I could live with myself if I'd have to split us up. So I'm pretty sure that God was going to want to keep us together, because I'm going to cause more good that way." Yeah, so anyway, life is good. Life is good. There's some old pictures of Mom and Benny. This is before we moved. Oh, the love in that, man. The love in that. It's just, these pictures are just, because she's a different version of herself now. She's a different Loretta now. But she's a good version. See, we're all aspects. When we think back, see, that's why I think photography is so significant, is because when we think back and we look at our lives, like today, I got a memory from 10 years ago on Facebook. This is what the algorithms do. Oh, remember where you were there? Oh, I hate this episode of Longmire that's on. It's this shrill alarm that is just it drives me crazy. I hate it. Did I not get it? It was the first time I met Artie Pants. It was the first time. Today's 10/10/2020. I missed it. I missed 10/10/10/10/10. And I missed 10/10/20/20/20 on the clock. But I knew it's there. Somebody saw it somewhere. Somebody got a screen grab of it somewhere, I hope. So, this is the picture of when I first got Artie Pants. See, he was the first one. I adopted 2, and then I fostered 2, and then I failed because they became the family. So Artie Pants, I fell in love with him. He had an upside-down question mark on his face. He still has kind of the markings, but they faded a lot. He's over here sleeping right now. And he was the runt out of 9, and so he's always real sensitive. He has the same birthday as my brother, and their personalities are very similar, you know. So when we look at pictures of this, look, I mean, it's like that was me 11 years ago, because I think this was one of those things where it was like you post it, and then a year later they post it as a memory, and then you repost the memory. People get confused with that stuff a lot, but I don't. So this was at the park when we first met. But he wasn't ready, because I was going out of town to my first trip in New Orleans, so I couldn't, I was like, well, I'll just wait till I get back and as soon as I got back from from New Orleans, like, I got picked up from the airport, and we went directly, well, first we went to Village Inn for pancakes, because the plane came in at like 11:30 or something like that, and they were showing up for an adoption event, and they were bringing them to the adoption event at the PetSmart, Petco, whatever, across the street. So, I couldn't hardly eat my pancakes because I was going to go get my new dog, because my dog Arthur had died, and when it worked out on the calendar, Artie, who wasn't named after him, he was pre-named after the wheelchair kid because all of his siblings, the rescue that he came from, they're real clever, so they'd name him in groups of so they were all the Glee kids. So he was already the wheelchair, so that the Glee story holds dear to my heart, So it's just kind of, life is so wonderfully synchronistic, and how we navigate when we fight through our fear and just show up and go do things, even though our words are saying this, no, you can't do this, or you're hearing other people that have always said, talk down to you. Just rise up past them. Just do it anyway and see what happens, Because people have to get through their feelings and in touch with their emotions, because we know what the alternative is. With everybody that's fighting in the street, everybody that's, burning shit down, everybody that is like acting out in a very, very destructive way right now, they're acting that out because they feel powerless. They have no control in their life. They don't know how, and all you got to do is get quiet. All you got to do is just do nothing. And then answers start coming, and peace starts being had. And then, see, the thing of it is people are creating so much more turmoil as the days go on, that they're still incurring karma from all the shit, from the stuff that they done before, and then they create more shit. And so it's just a perpetual shitstorm, all of our own making. And as soon as we start cleaning up our shit is just less shit in the world. And if more people start coming in that accountability, then the better it is. It's a self-choice, and we'll see how it goes. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.